If you can master getting the lessons from your experiences and also master determining the serious, real intent of people, man, you can achieve whatever you want to achieve in life.
Tell us the truth.
People don't stop you from achieving what you want to achieve. Your inability to discern what that person's intent was, what that person's energy is, or even just overlooking it. Sometimes we discern people's energy is bad and we still just invite them into our lives. Sometimes we think that experience we had was just because we didn't know how to navigate it, and we'll jump right back into the same thing again, not knowing that the experience itself is the negative aspect of our life. So if you're still here, you've got strength and resilience because I don't care who you are, you've gone through something. We talk all the time about how many of us have been homeless. And now look at you. If you were homeless last year and you're in an efficiency this year, how you gonna let somebody who in a mansion tell you you ain't doing good? See, I want y'all to understand something. Here's what they like to tell you. They like to say, surround yourself with people who are where you want to be. I don't care about people being where I want to be. I simply want people who understand where I am now and how to navigate it. Now, a lot of those people are going to be in positions that you want to get to, but some of those people are just going to be living life. They don't care anything about all the money. They don't care anything about all the success. They are living a great life. Man, listen, I know people who don't make $500,000 a year, but they also don't buy food. They plant everything. They get eggs from their chicken coop. When the holidays come around and they want meat for the holidays, they have the animals on their land. They only eat what they grow. They never eat out at restaurants. They never buy grocery. Listen, everything they want. I'm talking about bread, everything, whatever it is they want, they make it in-house. Now, I want you to think about how expensive grocery are. Think about how expensive food is to feed your family at the grocery store for 365 days a year. Think about how expensive that is. Now think about how much money you'd be saving if you cut that expense. I know people who are doing very well, multimillionaires. And each one of them drives one car. They have two vehicles worth multiple tens of millions of dollars and have two vehicles. And I'm not talking about new vehicles. I'm talking about Hondas. 200 SUVs, and I ain't talking, and neither one of them is newer than 2020. But that crib, ooh, most people couldn't fathom pulling up to a house that looks like that in a Honda. But you know what the reality is? If you're looking at other people and what they do with the money and how they show it, then you're destined to blow it. One of the greatest experiences that we've had and that we've known is summed up by don't try to keep up with the Joneses. Don't worry about the Joneses. You don't even know the Joneses. You don't know what kind of debt the Joneses is to look like they're living their life. If you want to keep up with the Joneses, let the Joneses show you their bank account. Let the Joneses show you their investment accounts. Let the Joneses show you what their net worth is. Now, if the Joneses have a very high net worth, then you figure out what the Joneses are doing to do that. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses because of what they drive, what they wear, where they live, and all of that. I had someone ask me, why don't you wear suits more often? Because every now and then you'll see me in a suit. I mean, if you look at the Manosphere Anthem video, you'll see me in a suit. Then you'll see me in suits sometime. You see me in sweaters and and all of these things and dress. You see me dressed up with slacks and gaiters on sometime. You'll see me like that sometime. Why don't I do it more often? Because why would I? I know what my heritage is. I know my West Indian heritage. So when you see me with the turban, you see me with the dashikis, you see me with these things on, you see me, that's what this is about. This is about knowing yourself, because if you know yourself, then you won't be tempted to do things that are outside of yourself. Another thing, if you have health, you have wealth already. We've heard health is wealth. Well, if you have health, you already have wealth. What are you chasing wealth for? Don't chase wealth. If you're healthy, you're wealthy. Chase your passion. Do that thing that brings you the most joy. You understand? Don't let money be the determining factor in what drives you. Yes, now once you make money, you want to make smart investments, so you want to save a little and you want to have an emergency fund. You want to do all of those things with money, but you don't want money to be the driving force in the decisions you make, because if it is, there are too many negative ways to make money. And eventually, if times get hard enough, you'll go one of those negative ways. And I think we can all agree on that. But not only do you have wealth when you have health, you have opportunity. See, if you're healthy and the opportunity arises, you can get up and go chase the opportunity. Why are you giving up when you can chase opportunity? Opportunity comes all the time. All you got to do is be ready for it. And sometimes, instead of waiting for opportunity to knock on the door, you got to go stand in the yard by the gate. Look up and down the street for opportunity. When opportunity pulling up, you run out in the road and stop it. Run in front of opportunity's car and say, "Whoa, opportunity, here I am. You looking for me? I already know it." So what's the purpose in giving up? How you gonna think about giving up, man, when you've got all these gifts? The gift of health is, man, it's the greatest gift you can have, because you can have $50 million, but if you're not healthy, what does it matter? All you're gonna do is be spending money on medicine and things trying to get well. Come on, brother. You got to understand that your life is golden right now. Right now. You've overcome too much to say, "Oh, well, I've overcome everything. Now I'm gonna give up." It's too late to give up. Only fools give up after they made it through something. Don't give up now. You got to stay strong while you jump through your obstacles. The obstacles, think about it. We are just running the race of life. You could be in the rat race, which is people waking up every day, going to a job, trying to chase all the money they can chase, and try to keep up with the Joneses and have all these things to do all of this and wear all these high price fashions and all of that. You could keep up with the Joneses. You could do that. Or you could be in the marathon. You could be in the marathon. Think about a marathon. A marathon is a long race. If it's a hurdle in the road in the marathon, if it's a hurdle on the track, it's way down there. Like every mile you run, you got a hurdle to jump. People who go fast, who try to live fast and go through it real fast, they got a bunch of hurdles to jump. They're just constantly jumping hurdles, constantly jumping hurdles. Well, guess what happens? You're human. After a while, of constantly jumping hurdles, one of those hurdles is going to trip you. And here's the problem with jumping so many hurdles. If you jump so many hurdles and then that one trips you and you lose all that progress, you're more likely to give up. Life is a long race. It's a long race. So you better make sure that you understand the pace so you can continue the race. Because nobody cares if you get tired in the race. You got to continue the pace. And let me tell you something. The easiest way for you to stay focused on your obstacles that you're jumping is to be yourself. The greatest gift that anyone has ever given me when I was a kid, man, is to promote that I be myself. I had an aunt, man. I'll never forget her, man. I mean, she's my favorite aunt. I'm her favorite nephew, and she doesn't hesitate to let all my cousins know it whenever she can, right? They already know. They already know who her favorite is. She's everybody's favorite aunt, but there's only one favorite nephew, and that's me, right? So here it is. Now, and I used to bother my cousin with that when I was coming up, man. I mean, we all grown now. It don't even matter now. But she made sure that I knew that being the smartest kid around was my superpower. That being able to solve problems that other people my age and even older couldn't solve was my superpower. That being a quick thinker, being quick on my feet was my superpower. She was the one who told me the greatest, and she didn't use the term flex, but the greatest flex ever is to be the smartest one in the room. You know, they always tell you, "Well, you're in the wrong room if you're the smartest one in the room." Well, what, you got a room full of dummies? Somebody got to be the smartest one in the room. Why not you? Why not me? Why can't I be the smartest one in the room? You mean tell me every room you go in life, you are destined to be the dumbest one in the room? I don't like those rooms. I'd rather go into a room full of dunces where I can be the smartest one in the room sometime if that's what it takes. And I knew then, me elevating it intellectually as much as I want to, I've never stopped. I've never stopped being me. And whatever I faced in life, whatever adjustments I had to make in life, I added those to who I am. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to, while you're jumping your obstacles, I want you to remember how high you had to jump over that obstacle. I want you to remember what that obstacle was. I want you to remember everything about it, because that's how you build character. You build character by remembering what you've done for yourself. See, we always look for people to help us and heal us and make us feel good and make us feel whole and make us feel important. But you got to remember the things you've done for yourself. I can't trust somebody who ain't never done nothing for me. If you tell me I'm so great and I'm so this and I'm so that, and I'm like, wait a minute, I ain't never did nothing for you. You ain't never did nothing for me. What make me so great? But you know what I can do? I can look in the mirror and look at the man in the mirror and say, man, I remember we went through that. I remember what you did for me. Thank you. I can say, man, I remember when we faced that. I remember how you handled that for me. Thank you. I can look at that man in the mirror and say, man, listen, boy, you remember that time right there? I thought you were going to give up on us, but you didn't. Thank you. You remember right there, man, when the Most High showed us we need to go that route right there and all the temptation were telling us to go the other route and you followed the Most High instead? I like how you handled that. Thank you. You got to self-motivate. You got to self-appreciate. That's how you keep from giving up. When you're at the precipice of giving up, you know what you're thinking? I ain't got nobody. It's just me all by myself. What I'm going to do? It's me against the world. And you're thinking all of that. Well, okay, it's you against the world. Well, guess what? Who you going to trust more than you trust yourself against the world? Who you going to trust more than you trust yourself against the world? Who's proven to be more valuable to you than yourself? Who's proven to be more loyal to you than yourself? Who's proven to be more dedicated to you than yourself? Who's proven to be more selfless to you than yourself? Who's proven to be ride or die from day one with you than yourself? No one has. So what is me against the world? That's the only battle I trust. Everybody else want to come along, shoot a couple and pick up their arms and help out sometime. But the only one I know they're gonna be there from the beginning of the battle to the time they wave their white flag is me. Same thing with you. That's all you know. So you got to be strong while you jumping your obstacles. And you got to be yourself. And let me tell you something. I said earlier that don't let the money motivate you, but yes, you want to make some money. But let me tell you what you do. When you make the money, you stack the money like a broke man. You understand me? You stack the money like if you don't stack it, you'll be broke tomorrow. You got to fear being broke again. That's the mindset. Fear being broke again. You know how you felt when you were broke? You know how I did had to rob Peter to pay Paul, and then both of them be like, hey, we need our money back. You be like, I ain't got it. Now you got to fight Peter and Paul and can't get no more money from them. I want you to understand, stack your money, budget your money. Every month, you should be making a budget for your money. Every month, every dollar that come in should be accounted for. I don't care if you got to write it on a piece of paper, old school, if you put it in your phone notes, if you put it in a spreadsheet. I don't care where you put it at. Put it on paper and put your budget on paper. What's coming in, what's going out. That's the only way to know everything you make and everything you pay. And if you don't know everything you make and everything you pay, you don't know what you can invest. You don't know what you can save. You don't know what you got in the emergency fund. You don't know any of that. And what I want you to understand is you have to live that life and build that life. And it takes time, but it also takes focus. It takes determination. It takes drive. You have got to be in a position where you can convince yourself to do the right thing. Otherwise, you're going to be right back at that point where you're thinking about giving up again. How many times do you want to go up and down, up and down, up and down in life? At some point, one of those downs, you're going to give up. You ain't going to keep just going up. And one of those times you're going to go down and you ain't going to have the power, the energy, the strength to fight back up. So once you get up, stay up. Stop doing the things that bring you back down. Stop being around the people that bring you back down. Stop going back to the old habits that bring you back down. Stop doing all of that stuff. You got to live the life you want. Why? Because you're still here. As long as you're still here, don't waste no time because you don't know how long you're going to be here. Every bit of time you have, you better use it wisely. You better use it wisely. I'm telling you, young guys right now, man, if you're in your 20s and 30s right now, man, use your time wisely. I promise you, you do not want to be using your time, wasting your time, because you will regret it. If you waste your time, you're going to regret it, man. Because right now, when you're in your 20s, even your 30s, you're young and invincible. But as I talk to all my OGs, they all say the same thing. They said around the time they got about 55, 60, they actually started having real thoughts about death. They start having real thoughts about when they were going to die. They start having real thoughts about having lived more of their life than they have left. They start having serious thoughts about that. Right now, while you young, you ain't got to worry about that. Man, you better grind. You better work, man. You better do the things you got to do. Hey, man, if you ain't got no job, get a job. If you ain't got no income, get some income. If you ain't got if you need education, go get your son. Do whatever you got to do, man. You got to build the life you want by focusing on the position you're in right now versus the position you want to be. And you got to put down a plan of action to achieve those goals. Put down your plan of action to achieve your goals. I'm gonna tell you like this, man, and I tell people like this all the time. My granddaddy didn't tell me this, my dad didn't tell me this. I made this up myself, right? Because I'm an OG like that. I'm blessed. I always say, if it's not on paper, it didn't happen, and it's not going to. Put it on paper. That's why people sign contracts. That's why you sign paperwork when you take a job. That's why listen, even when you go to prison, you got to sign some paperwork. When you do anything, you got to sign some paperwork. There's paperwork to sign. Why? Because if it's not on paper, it didn't happen and it's not going to happen. If you don't put your budget on paper, you not going to budget your money. If you don't put your goals on paper, you not going to achieve those goals. If you don't put your plan of action on paper, you're not going to follow those plans. If you don't put your business plan on paper, you're not going to be successful at that business. If you don't, man, listen, put it on paper, put it in writing. You need to be able to see it. It needs to be physical to the touch. You need to be able to look at it whenever you want to. Pin that thing on the refrigerator like your mama used to do your report cards. Put it on the refrigerator, put it somewhere, stick it up there, make it stay. Don't you let the blessings that you have go away because you think you got time to play. You don't have time to play. And let me tell you what the main thing you do when you value your time. That's the key to giving God the glory. You got to look at that time and you got to remember you only got time because God is loaning it to you. You're on borrowed time. This ain't your time. How you going to waste God time? How you going to burn God time like it's something you can give back to him? Man, let me tell you how you pay God for the time he give you. By using it wisely. Use the time wisely. Because here's the thing. God gets the glory. You get the credit.